Hi, readers. Today, we are going to talk about a couple of things with our reading skills. We're going to be talking quickly about why an author writes something, their purpose, and we're also going to go back and visit the fact and details of a passage that we practiced on Monday. So get ready to listen, participate, and think. Here we go. I want to talk to you today, first of all, about the author's purpose. And I want to make this nice and big so you can see it. An author writes for a reason. Authors can write for sometimes three reasons. They like to write to persuade the reader. That means they're trying to get the reader to change their mind about something or to think the same way that the writer or the author thinks. Authors sometimes will write to inform the reader, to give them information. And authors also write to just entertain the reader, just to give them a good story to read. And notice how I underlined the P, the I, and the E, and it spells the word pie. That might be a quick and easy way for you to remember three of the reasons authors write, the author's purpose. So we said that they will write to persuade. And persuade, I always think of commercials on TV when they want me to buy something. Authors write to give us information. And that makes me think of a walk in the desert. We learned a lot about the desert and exploring space with an astronaut. We learned a lot about space and entertainment. And that is definitely Henry and Mudge and the Twin Club. Those were just good stories that provided us some entertainment. So today when we read, and we're going to focus on facts and details, we're going to be reading some information. So the author wrote this piece. It's called The White House. And everything in this story is going to be information about the White House. It's going to be true facts. So remember when we were talking about facts and details? Facts can be proven true. And then the details are the small bits of information that make it more interesting. So please listen as I read this story called The White House. And remember, we are reading to get information. The author wrote this to inform us about this topic, the White House. You can read along with me or you can listen. The White House. The White House is the home of our nation's president and first lady. It is located in Washington, D.C. They started building the White House in 1792. It took them several years to finish. Our first president, George Washington, was the only president to not live in the White House. Our second president, John Adams, was the first president to live in the White House. So as I was reading it, were you visualizing some of these facts so that you can remember them? I was thinking about it took several years to finish. Sometimes they can build a house in less than a year now. Let's go to the second paragraph. The White House has 132 rooms, including 35 bathrooms and 6 levels. It is not just a house. Many of the rooms are used as offices for the president and his staff. The White House also has a swimming pool, a movie theater, and a bowling alley. So I bet that caught your attention. And notice the commas in a series. We were working on that in our writing when we had a list of things. So we have a lot of information in this passage. So now we need to focus on the facts and details of it. Well, when I think about the White House and I look back to that very first sentence, it said the White House is the home of our nation's president and first lady. And that's a fact. We can prove it. And I'm going to copy that right into this web. The White House is the home of our, and we might even, just say our president. Our president and first lady. Do you know what the first lady means? It means his wife. So that's a fact. We can prove that. But we want more details about the White House. So we need to come up with 2 or 3 details that make this topic, this fact, a little more clear in our minds. It helps us visualize it. So can you think of something that you remember? What was something that after you read it, you thought, wow, that was interesting, or I didn't know that? Can you think of some of those small bits of information, those details? I remember that it took several years to build it. I'm going to put that down, and I'm not worried about complete sentences. I'm going to just jot down several years to build it. So it took a while. What's another detail that you remember about the White House? It's always okay to look back if you had this. What was something else? Did you think about how George Washington didn't get a chance to live in it? I'm going to put that down. George Washington did not live in it. And he was the only president who couldn't. I could add that on too. And how about one more detail? I think I know what most of you are thinking. I bet you were thinking of something in the second paragraph that you thought was really interesting or was fascinating to you. And I was fascinated by this 132 rooms. It has 132 rooms. Wow, I might get lost there. And I surely don't want to have to clean it. But now that I look at my web, the way I organized it, I'm going to make it a little smaller. We have the fact up here of what the White House is. And then we have some details. And there were more details in that passage as well. And these details just give us more information. They help us visualize it, and they help us remember more about that topic. So facts and details are very important when we're reading nonfiction. I hope you've done some nonfiction reading this week in your maybe epic. And remember, you're reading for information. Have a great day, second graders.